Now, if you guys recently remember, Florida had officially banned some of its state workers from using the words climate change. Now, they said, oh, it's not an official ban because we didn't write it down. However, if you remember that one worker had actually been sent to a mental evaluation for using the words climate change in a report. Now, there's another state that is following the lead of Florida, and this is Wisconsin. This comes from Wisconsin Republican State Treasurer Matt Adamczyk. Now, Matt Adamczyk sits on the Public Land Board. Now, he's actually been trying to remove references to climate change since January, at least from the website. And now, as of last week, he resurfaced this issue at a recent board meeting. Now, this board meeting with the Board of Commissioners on Public Lands, voted for a measure on Tuesday that prohibited staff from engaging in global warming or climate change work while on BCPL time. Fascinating. Now, what this means is that staff will not even be able to respond to emails about climate change. And this is according to Bloomberg. Now, staff at the agency, however, are tasked with managing some of the state's public land and maintaining a trust fund to school libraries. So that's what they do. They manage the trust fund, which is very important. Remember that. Keep that in mind. And they also manage some of the state's public land. Now, public land, obviously, be affected by climate change, as well as private land. All land will be affected by climate change. So it makes sense to talk about things that will impact that land. But not according to Matt Adamczyk. Now, he said, he told Bloomberg that it's not a part of our sole mission. Well, what is your sole mission? Sole mission is to make money for our beneficiaries. That's what I want our employees working on. That's it. Managing our trust funds. That's what it's all about. Follow the money. Hey, look, our beneficiaries, we don't really care about land. They don't care about the land. All they care about is us managing their money. What's more important? Money. It comes down to the money. Is there anyone that is surprised? Now, there is a little bit more on this Adamczyk guy. You see, he's actually has an issue, a little bit of a personal spat with a fellow coworker named Tia Nelson. Now, she formerly sat on the Wisconsin Global Warming Task Force, and he's been targeting her since January, trying to mandate performance reviews and remove her name from the board's letterhead. Now, she sat on the Global Warming Task Force. And so now he's going through and voting with the rest of the Republicans on the board to remove anything that has to do with global warming or climate change. Not a surprise. And of course saying, we're just doing this for our beneficiaries. That's your job. Your job is to hold money for these trust funds for school libraries. That's your problem. That's your main issue. That's your only issue, is that you hold money for this trust fund. That's it. But I thought we're supposed to actually manage the land. Nope. Apparently not. Now, there's a Wisconsin Secretary of State, Doug La Follette, who's a Democrat, who sits on the board, voted against this ban and said, hey, look, man, this is going to keep staff from discussing how climate change could impact the land that we actually oversee. See, that's part of our job, is to manage this land, right? But and climate change is going to impact this land. So if you're not going to let us talk about it, how are we supposed to do our job? No, your job is to manage the trust fund. That is your only job for the beneficiaries. You work for the beneficiaries. You make money for our beneficiaries, and that's it. To hell with public land. We just want the money. La Follette also said, quote, having been on this board for close to 30 years, I have never seen such nonsense. We've reached the point now where we're going to try to gag employees from talking about issues. In this case, climate change. That's as bad as the governor of Florida recently telling his staff that they could not use the words climate change.